What up, you bromosexuals? How's things? Real quick update. BTI, the guy, Brandon Talkmit is sexy, whatever that stands for. He sent me a new update for the screen. Well, I sent my screen back. He updated it for me, and then I have it back now. So I'm gonna go load this into the car in a minute, and then kind of run through the new setup, see the new displays he put on there. He said he added some new graphics and stuff too that he's not too savvy with, but he said he's trying. And I mean, honestly, I thought the original one was pretty modern. I liked the display. I thought it was fucking sweet. I wish it was bigger. I wish I had like the 7-inch to 10-inch, whatever could fit in that gauge cluster on the IS. That would be really cool. But I'm gonna go put this in the car, and then we'll check this out and see how this goes. Kind of just kicking it right now. I got a few updates. Like, we're doing a little pool party in the back with the ladies. She hates when I put her on video. So the actual, I guess the huge update is I quit my job. You know, you guys can probably always tell that the video is like 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out from when I recorded this second ago because my beard's a little bit longer. You know what, I'll get to all that in a minute. But let's go through the screen real fast since I installed it a week ago. And then I got to run through it. I got to talk to Brandon a little bit about the updates he put on there. And I think it's pretty sweet. So he changed. Actually, watch this. I'm not even going to say anything. The first part's pretty dope. So before, when I had this screen up, it had a Supra, like a logo that would pop up, right? So that was pretty cool. The Supra thing being like the fact that my car's inspired by the Toyota Supra. But now watch this. Okay, we go key in. Oh, look at that shit. That was dope. I'll do it again. So you put the SR entertainment screen on there, which is so fucking nice of him. It's so cool. So badass. It just, I don't know, that's pretty cool. It makes it feel like it's straight up my car. This is my thing, man. I don't know, it's such a cool thing to me. Okay, so we're gonna run through again the screen a little bit. For anybody that is interested, I'm gonna link his stuff in the description. This is not an expensive screen. I think it's $350, $400, and it does all the CAN bus display functions that you're gonna get from anywhere else. Like the AEM Infinity, I think AEM sells their screen for like $1,000, and God, Pro 5s is even further up. BTI has the exact same functions, if not looking a lot cleaner, for like a quarter of the price or half the price. Let's say a fraction. It's beautiful. So the screen that I like to keep it on is the RPM gauge. The target levels that he changed were from white to, I think he had them on like yellow there, but now it's green. I think it's actually looks a little bit better. It's easier to see, especially in the daytime too. Not to mention that this display is, it's not a shit, like, I don't know what it is. It's not a, there's no effect on the sunlight when you're looking at this display, which is really nice. So cycling through the sections, or like the items you're gonna see, are still all the same. The target, the map pressure, the AFR, etc. It's all the same on the screen. Cycle through a little bit. He changed the fuel peak up here, which was white to yellow, so it's easier to see. So anytime, again, you have like a peak in your boost, basically like anything that, yeah, once you go over boost, it starts peaking. So we'll see where we're at in the pressure peak, and then like our fuel peak right there. Ethanol contents at 76, etc. Okay, next screen was the temps and the peak temps. Same thing. Peaks as well when you're hitting your boost levels and just kind of seeing where it's at after you do a pull. This is all the same as well. I think what he added here, which is kind of nice, is some people, he said, wanted to see a graph because it's easier for them to see. So if you are one of those people that doesn't want numbers and you want a graph, he has what's pretty much like a, it's almost what you'll see in the Infinity tuner on your laptop. So it'll show your AFRs and your target, and then it'll show your map pressure and your, I don't know if it shows target, but basically it shows the feedback percentage of what your target or your AFRs to your boost pressure are. So watch this. When I start the car, it's kind of nice. It shows the graph idling across. I think that's really cool to monitor. especially if you're doing a hard pull and you can see it before you jump in on the Infinity tuner. So I'll give it some gas. You got a little vacuum pull, and then you have a little bit of pressure up there. So yeah, that's pretty sweet, man. I think this is dope. Such a nice update already so far with the few screens. Let me cut this off. From this screen, then we're gonna go to, oh, actually, what was that? Was that where it peaked in the graph? There's something red there. That was kind of cool. I didn't get to see that, whatever. Peak, boost, freeze frame, it's all the same, but he changed the colors. It went from blue to yellow. Again, easier to see. I'm a fan of it. The full screen that shows every readout you're gonna pull from the ECU. Really helpful here. Helpful because actually I just experienced a lean cut in second and third gear, and I wasn't necessarily sure what it was. I just didn't know. The car, I was doing it when I didn't have the screen. So when we were driving it up and down the street the other day, and I was doing like a third gear pull, it cut out of like 3,500, 4,500. What's nice about this is that I went to go see my fuel pressure. Fuel pressure was fine. It was at 53. But my injector duty fell off. It was at like 14. It wasn't at like 60% or 80%. So I think my second pump is having a little bit of an issue coming on. That's what Scott had given me an idea of. So we're gonna check that when I go down to his place next week when we get on the dyno. Hopefully we can like sort that out. After this is gonna be your knock feedback, which I still have not had anything there go on. Oh yeah, I don't know if this is new. At least I didn't use it yet. I'll have to wire in my speed sensor with Scott when we're gonna do it to the ABS unit. So we'll be able to get the GPS speed and the vehicle speed pretty much to have the mile per hour on here. So that'd be kind of cool to wire that in. Your acceleration too, that'll come with the vehicle speed sensor as well. And then, oh, okay, this is one of the new screens. So your map pressure, your map peak, and then your AFRs, and he has it just in a graph and stuff. So you basically see your boost go up there, and then you'll see your AFR targets down here in like a linear bar graph, and it's kind of neat. Some people, he said, wanted to see it like this, which is, it's cool. I won't use this, but I think it's neat. And then again, right here. So this is what was interesting to me. Looking at this is a little confusing, but I'll be able to explain it real fast. So again, he wanted to add what was on this screen here, the bottom four. People wanted that in a bar graph. So you have your peak, which is going to be the yellow bar at the bottom, right? Then what your live data is going to be the blue and the red, blue being like a little colder, red coming up, right? So anytime your car peaks out, so say we have our water at 138 right now. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it up higher. So our intake air temperature is at 143, for example, since I can mess with that. If I tap 143, because you can tap these numbers, you can reset the peak. Now it's at 143 because it's idling there right now. So it's really nice to like monitor stuff with. This is such a handy fucking device. So many things in this screen that I'm not gonna use, but I will in the future. But I know people that like are a little bit more tech savvy than I am that actually monitor their ECUs, that can look at the tunes and the logs and see what's going on. You guys will use this. It is such a good tool to have in your car when half of your cluster doesn't work or you're running a gaugeless ECU, because those little stupid old school gauges, the glow shift, whatever, the AEM ones, they are cool. It did look cool back in '98, but now we've got displays and dashes, and I can't wait until he updates this model and he puts out the 7-inch dash, because I'm going to try and buy that from him, and that'll be able to replace his entire area here, like a big old 7.5-inch screen right there, and I'll just obviously give that back to him and go from there. But that'd be a really sweet thing to have in this car, because again, nothing works here besides my RPM. Everything else is pretty much dead. So whatever. If you're interested in purchasing one of those, I'll link everything for Brandon down below. I'll link this screen. I'll link his dash. I think it should be out now since we talked last week, and I'll go from there. I'll kind of piece whatever I can in the bottom of this video. We talked about my brother's IS being for sale. Yes, it is. There's somebody that should be buying it, possibly putting a deposit down tonight on Friday. He said that. We'll kind of see what goes on with that. Pretty much to hold the car until I have something that for my brother that we can do. I'm looking at like a few WRXs, one that has a blow motor I can kind of rebuild for him, kind of go through the hoops of that and see what that's like. Or we find something stock. The thing is, he doesn't do well with modified cars, and not that this is that modified, but his IS definitely is like a modified suspension. So ball joints need to be replaced, the coils need to be replaced, stuff like that. That's the things that he doesn't need to deal with, especially when he's like going to go up to Sacramento and like worry about school and job and shit like that. He just needs something stock, and a stock Super actually would be pretty good if he wants to go snowboarding, shit like that too. So that's the plan there. If this guy doesn't buy it, anybody wants to buy it, $4,500. That's what it's going for right now. It's listed on Craigslist. I'm pretty firm because I've had a bunch of people hit me up, and nobody's really came out to come pull the trigger. So I know it's a good price, but we'll see what happens. Last but not least, no, there's two things. Let's go to